Oh,
There you are.
now we're live. Okay. Happy Wine Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We have a very special guest. I'm getting to host her again, and I'm so excited because it's been a while. Allow me to introduce Elizabeth of Elizabeth and The Catapult. How you doing?
Great. Happy to be here. How are you?
Great. And for everyone watching, this was not planned. Our shirts are just matching because
It's
we're just
adorable.
in sync in terms of our just minds. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been quite a few months since I last talked to you. So what have you been up to?
I had this period of time when the pandemic first started where I was kind of doing nothing and in complete shock here in Brooklyn, and was, teaching a little bit online, but I just didn't really, I was basically just cooking and by myself in my apartment because all my roommates had left the city.
Right.
And then about a month ago, I had this like weekend of where I just felt this little window of hope, and I recorded and wrote a bunch of music, recorded like half of my album in this one weekend. And ever since, I've just been finishing this album at home. And now I'm getting it sent off to be mixed. And I'm going to be releasing music starting the middle of November. And I'm really excited. So there was some kind of shift. And I'm very grateful for that.
Well, because Elizabeth, the last time that you like really put out like a full entendre of music was like a few years ago in 2017, Keepsake, right?
Yes.
But
3
then
years ago.
I remember talking to you. You did the fun tour. I think it was like about a year ago. Holidays can be fun.
It's true. It's true.
Which I feel like that you should do a virtual version of that this year because this year's holiday season is going to be even weirder.
Oh, wow. I don't even want to wrap my head around that. It's going to be the weirdest holiday season ever. You're right.
Oh my goodness. Well, okay, so you're in Brooklyn right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you've been there since March, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from here. I'm from New York, so I'm always here. But yeah, there's just I've been I'm lucky to be in this house alone in some ways, and it's also bizarre in this house alone. So I've just been, hanging up Christmas lights like you see behind me and playing with my toys.
So out of the 26 letters, only the letter E actually got presents for Christmas last year. All the other letters in the alphabet were not E. All right, everybody.
You, come on.
So if you've been tuning into the Jam Happy Hour for a while now, you know that when I do these jokes, you got to take a sip wherever you're tuning in from. So cheers, Elizabeth. Cheers, everyone.
Chuckle and sip, chuckle and sip.
Chuckle and sip. Absolutely. So Elizabeth, everyone that's tuning in, I'm sure they are fans of your music. And where can they, if they have yet to experience like your music on an internet platform or just getting your music via, I think you have some vinyls, right?
I do. Yeah, I have some vinyl and I have CDs. But I would say you can just listen to any of my 4 albums on Spotify, along with the new music that I'm releasing, and iTunes, Bandcamp. Bandcamp's pretty sweet because I think the artist makes the most. So right. I love that platform, just of all the digital platforms. But yeah, I'm just around the web.
And what about on Wine Wednesday, as today is Wine Wednesday, in addition to many other national holidays, which I'll get to later. But if people are at home feeling tipsy, where can they venture over to? Venmo or?
Oh, yes. You are so good to say that. Maybe I'll just put it in the chat what my Venmo is.
I think it's right down there.
Oh, is it? Does it say? Woo. Oh, look at that. Okay. Yeah, just my name, Elizabeth Seaman.
There we go.
So thank you. That is so professional. Seriously.
Well, we're
I love
getting
that
like to
banner.
experience what we're all craving and missing out on so much, which is a concert. And getting
Yes.
this virtual version of a concert is such a treat to not only myself, but to everyone watching. And so thank you.
Well, it's a treat for me. I playing music is what makes me feel human. So I'm so happy to be here.
Well, why don't we hear whatever song you want to kick us off with? Let's do it.
Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to start with this song called Mea Culpa. I am imagining a man sits like a statue at his typewriter. Actually, sorry, I'm going to just reposition my mic a little bit. Sorry, you can't see my face. Okay, give me one sec. I got to see my really frisky piano hands as I play. I am imagining a man sits like a statue at his typewriter, trying to think how to begin, how to write his poor wife a final letter. If you were reading this, I'm gone. They lock me up and threw the keys away, my love. Though it is true what I have done, I'm still the man that I was. I am a sinner now, it's true. And mea culpa for the time I wasted you. I swear I never hurt a fly. I'm gonna miss you. Love and kisses, goodbye, 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 goodbye. 'Cause there's plenty more bad mistakes for us to make before we come undone. More bad mistakes for us to make. It's our idea of fun. More bad mistakes. It's our condition. Love. More bad mistakes for us to make before we go ahead and fuck it all up. A woman sitting at her window, thinking her son is going straight to hell now, praying to God, what have I done? My boy's going down, 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 down with the devil. He called to say I'm getting married to a nice fellow I met in the Navy, and now we're proud to say I do, with or without you, with or without you, mother, with or without you. And your goddamn blessings. Cause there's plenty more bad mistakes for us to make. There's plenty more bad mistakes for us to make. It's our condition, my love. Oh, bad mistakes for us. 'Cause there's plenty more bad mistakes. It's our condition. More bad mistakes for us to make before we go ahead
Cheers. Thank you.
Huzzah!
That was Elizabeth Seaman, everybody. How we doing? How are ya? That was great.
Thank you.
Was that from a particular album that people can search?
Yeah, that was off of my last record, Keepsake.
That was put out in 2017, right?
Yes.
Nice. And now you're like in cahoots with getting something else out there, right?
Yeah.
Almost
I
there.
mean, in musical years, 3 years is like, it's too long. So I'm just really happy that I had the one silver lining of this fucked up chaos is, sorry if I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on here. So excuse me. But there's really no better description for
No,
what's
I mean
happening.
it's absolutely valid.
It's very apt. Yeah, the one silver lining is that all the time at home not working meant that I made another album. I made another baby. So I am grateful for that, and if for nothing else. But yeah, before this, I was working on the television show I mentioned, Little Voice, Sarah Bareilles' new TV show. So that was like for about 6 months of last year, I didn't do anything else, but I was just on set helping her with the music for that show. So it's just a night and day experience, isn't it?
Well, and you got to like instruct these young
Yeah.
artists with their
Yeah.
instrumental
I
work.
wore a lot of different hats for the show, which was really unique. I wrote music for the show, which I was really excited about. But I also was all the actors, some of them were, I mean, all of them actually, all the leads were, it's a very musical show. So they're all brilliant natural singers. But the lead was playing a pianist. So I was also her piano instructor.
Oh my God.
And then I taught some guitar and whatever was necessary. And there was always something spontaneous that would come up that was, a new musical question. So it was a really fun, challenging, and wild ride.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Sarah Bareilles' like love song was stuck in my head for the good portion of the early tens or mid tens.
She's awesome. She's been a big support to me. She took me on tour for the Kaleidoscope Heart tour opening, and I'm just, and then I wrote some string arrangements for Waitress for her musical. She's just been just a big heart throughout the years to me, so I'm very grateful for that.
Well, okay, so instrument wise, you've basically done it all, except there's only like one or two instruments you've never like gone for, right? There's one that you mentioned earlier.
Well, I think there's plenty of instruments in the world that I don't play, but in terms of my new album, I do not play the harp. But in terms of my new album, I was kind of adamant on playing every instrument on the album because I wanted it to kind of feel like it was made in my home by me. Mm-hmm. And so I played all the guitars and I played piano and then I hired my friend to play upright bass. Thank God, because I shouldn't be attempting to do that. But I play some. I wouldn't say I'm playing percussion, but I sampled the sounds of the inside of my piano with a stick and some different like percussive elements. But I'm not playing drums on my album, so I'll give you that.
Well, what kind of piano can you buy with $100 bills?
Is this another joke? What kind of piano?
A grand piano.
You're good. You're very good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So you were saying that Sarah had or has a musical, but I know that a big influence for you is your dad, who he's like a script editor, but he was on Broadway and like I know that you have a song dedicated to him, but a lot of your work is just generally inspired by your dad.
Is a lot of my work inspired by my father? I love that. I wouldn't go that far as I don't. I would say that I am a very very close second to him just as a human in existence. I'm
Mhm.
very similar to him in that we both have the same eccentricities. But
Right.
there's not tons of, I guess, maybe like the Oedipal complex, like a lot of us might not know what our music is about. But I would say
Right.
that one thing that my father has done for me recently, which I am very grateful for, is that both of my parents in lockdown, my dad is a script editor, like you're saying, and they're both writers. And I have been going over, I went, this is just kind of adorable to a saccharine level, but I've been going over, I had them edit all of the lyrics to my album. Like I went over all the lyrics to my album, and I was like, is this said in the most poignant way? Like, is this a cliche? And I went over every
Love
single
it.
lyric that I wrote, and they'd be like, kudos, nice one. Or my
Oh.
dad would be like, that's cliche, write that over. So I think that that's like just me being, it's like Arrested Development situation, is that I'm just like never gonna grow up.
Right. Oh wow. So what I'm gonna give you one more sip and one more joke
Okay.
before we get into whatever song you want to do. But what's another name for a Broadway script?
What's another name?
A play on words.
Ooh, I love the puns.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm so proud that I have your bottle, everyone. I'm not an alcoholic. I just had to, I'm sporting the bottle.
Butter out the bottle. That's the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Elizabeth. So let's see here. We're going all the way back to like '06, almost 15 years ago. You put out that first EP when you were um, kind of solo, so to speak. Like you weren't signed to anything. It was kind of a DIY
Mm-hmm.
beginning
Kind of
for
like
the
now.
band. And like,
Yeah.
you know, in a way, I'm sure that gave a lot of obstacles and put a lot of issues that may have arisen in your way, but in a good way and in a like developmental way, because you got to find out exactly what you wanted for yourself and your band rather than being told and molded
Right.
to like what a record label wanted before you
Right.
signed on to one.
Right.
So how do you think, like almost 14, 15 years ago versus now, how has your music evolved, especially in this past year?
I think that when I was that age, I was so I've with this other writer, he does film scores, Paul Brill. I've worked on 30 different film scores over the past 5 years. So when I was when I was first starting out, I went to school. I went to Berkeley School of Music. Wow, that's the alcohol speaking. Amazing, amazing.
Your voice is just
For
getting better.
you're making me think too hard. It's not good for me. For film scoring, and so I was studying to do what I do, and I think that I believed that everything had to be very cinematic and arranged very densely and produced in order to say what I wanted to say, that it had to be like just like the full gamut of possibilities all at once. And so my early music, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my first EP, and a lot of that ended up on Taller Children, which was the major label release.
Mhm.
Um, that was there's string arrangements and horn arrangements and full band, and I am attempting to do some of that on this. I just finished a string arrangement for this last record, but I think that what was maybe lost, and what I'm trying to make sure is incredibly clear on this album, is just that if a song is strong enough, you can really say so much with such a simple arrangement. it's like the same thing in that you can say so much with so few words. You can just sit with your piano and just, if the performance is up to snuff, you really do not need all the rest of the stuff.
Right.
And so I have half of the album is just me solo with one instrument, whether it's guitar or the piano, and the rest is a little bit more arranged. But I was making sure, I really wanted it to sound like physically like it was made at home in a living room by a person, and that it felt live, and that it didn't feel like I'm trying to write this movie scene.
Right.
So I think that's probably a big difference between me now and then.
No, for sure. And then did you realize that you're the other side of Zero? It's coming up in a little under 3 weeks. It's the decade anniversary of the release.
Wow, amazing. Man,
Like end of October of 2010, right?
You know what? I'm psyched that I'm still doing it. I'm
That's
so freaking grateful that I get to make music and like survive off of this and still do it all these years later. It's brilliant. It's cool.
And we appreciate you like putting your passion into something that also resonates with so many of us in so many different ways. You know, your musical genre is so just, it's complicated, but it's simple because you have just a broad range of different styles and different types of songs, and all within your different albums. But everything touches someone in a different way and resonates with someone's personal experience. And that's like a big thing that music has given people, especially in these difficult times. So thank you, Elizabeth.
Sam, you're such a sweetheart. I'm not crying, you are.
With that being said, let's hear, if you're up for doing, let's do like 2 songs back to back.
I think that sounds like a great idea. Cool. Let's do it. I'm going to play this probably mildly out of tune guitar. Let's see, wait a second. Where is my pick? Where is my guitar pick? This is important. Beautiful. Okay. So this first song, I'm gonna start with one off of my last album again, just to warm up, and then I'll do a brand new song. But this song is called Underwater, and it's just a self-therapy song for me. It's about, you know, just believing in good things. How about that? Believing in change. Why not? Actually, let me tune. Tuning is fine. It's fine. We can actually be in tune. I know Bob Dylan wasn't always in tune, and the music still spoke for itself, but may as well have this leg up. All right. There we go. I'm lost, I'm lost, I'm lost, I'm lost. Took a while to get around, now I think I've come around. I'm found, I'm found, I'm found, I'm found. Took a while to get around, now I think I've got it all worked out. Light up. Oh, when it's one, when it's one, when it's two, when it's what? I got no use for hopelessness, the regret of another man. I can run, I can run, I can run, I can run. Is there a light at the other end, or just a knowledge of the ever-changing sun, 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 sun? Ooh, sun, sun. Cause I'm not afraid of sleeping like I used to be. Oh, I can take to dreaming like a fish in the sea. The world looks so much better in sapphire green. I can hold my breath longer than I ever believed. I'm not afraid of sleeping like I used to be. I can crash into the waves that don't roll over me. world looks so much better in sapphire green. I can't hold my breath longer than I ever believed. Oh, I can't hold my breath longer than I ever believe. Than I ever believe. I believe. Light up. Yeah. Woo-hoo. And I forgot. I remember just in time what it was. I couldn't lie, cause I always knew. Even though I grew up cynical, still learned how to laugh at myself too. Even though I grew up cynical, oh, too. Even though I grew up cynical. 'Cause I'm not afraid of sleeping like I used to be. Oh, I can take to dreaming like a fish in the sea. And the world looks so much better in sapphire green. I can't hold my breath longer than I ever believed. And I'm not afraid of sleeping like I used to be. I can crash into the waves and them roll over me. The world looks so much better in sapphire green. In sapphire green. Like it used to be, I can crash into the waves and I'm roll over me. The world looks so much better in sapphire green. I can hold my breath longer. I'm not afraid of sleeping like I used to be. I can crash into the waves that roll over me. The world looks so much better in sapphire green. Oh, but I can hold my breath. Yes, I can. Oh, I can hold my breath. Yes, I can. Oh, I can hold my breath longer. Oh, I can hold my breath longer. Oh, I can hold my breath longer than I ever believed.
Woo! Thank you.
Yeah. So that was Underwater, and now I'm gonna play a brand new song. About a billboard I saw that said, "Does your soul have a cold?" Which I thought was very thought-inducing. It was for depression medication, and I was like, "That's a fucking song right there."
Gotta love American medication commercials and ads.
Gotta love the pharmaceutical companies. And it's just about, you know, all of our obsession in America with the wellness industry in general. And it's called Pop the Placebo. My friend Cleo doesn't care if it's placebo. If you open up her mind, really let the blood flow. She talks in crystals, always sitting down to give ya unsolicited advice. Tarot cards and rainbows. My friend Wheeler, he's been talking to a healer ever since his wife left home. Now when I visit, he speaks in dialects of mystics about the prospects of my soul. Says he knows more than I'll ever know. If you say so. Cause I don't care how I get there, darling. Name the cure and I'll come running. I don't care how I get there, darling. Say the words with enough conviction. Cause I don't care how I get there, as long a surgeon, said he'd rather work on patients who believe they will survive, grateful for all they got. And just the same, the perfect medicine won't save you if you're confident you'll die when you made your mind up. 'Cause I was taking sugar pills and I didn't even know it till the doctor finally told me. And he said I had to prove you didn't need those drugs at all. Hey, someday soon you'll thank me. He said you'll thank me for lying. For lying. For lying. He said you'll thank me for lying. For lying. I don't care how I get there, darling. I don't care how I get there, darling. I don't care how I get there, darling. Name the cure and I'll come running. I don't care how I get there, darling. Say the words with enough conviction. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care how I get there. I don't care how I get there. As long as I ride.
Thank you.
Yay.
Brenda. So you freaking rock, first of all.
Oh,
I
thank
just tell you
you.
that. Amazing. And to think that you started like playing piano when you were younger and then moved on to like literally finding your voice, and you kind of started paving your way into the music industry by busking in the like New York subway. I've never been to New York, so correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if
Yes,
it's
no,
called like the
you're correct.
subway
Yeah.
station or the
Yeah, I mean, it was
area.
it was kind of mid career.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, the day that I opened for Sarah Bareilles at Madison Square Garden, I was busking in the subway to warm up. So it was just kind of, I would say, scattered throughout my yeah, just the entire time. I realized that in order to get better as a singer and also to learn guitar, that the best way was just to be doing it in front of people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if they were ignoring you, like if they have their headphones on or if they're talking really loud over you, you just have to kind of work harder to get people's attention. And
Right.
so I think that it really like it's just it honed my skills as a performer of of having to like just work in a different angle in order to like get people's attention, and also just like make sure that your chords are strong and that you can like sing over stuff, and that you're not really like, if someone's like moving or like shuffling or talking over you in the audience, that you're not going to be like, I can't play, or I'm distracted, like it's like get over yourself and just like sing the song. So I do miss that actually. I miss being able to busk in the subway. It's would just be the stupidest thing to do ever right now. It would not make any sense. And I guess I could play outside, and just starting. I mean, we'll see what goes on in Brooklyn now, and if
Right.
it's safe to do anything. But a couple weeks ago, I played a comedy show at Central Park, which was all outside, like in a field, and it was like my first time performing for people in a long time,
So
and
cool.
that was just very liberating to be like, oh my god, people are in front of me, and I'm making music. It's not like in a, the digital platform is a lifesaver too, but it definitely was, exciting. And I was supposed to play it in front of a cafe in a week, but we have to see what
Right.
happens.
I feel like
So
with social media, it's almost like the hybrid of a concert and then busking. Especially, I know New York people can be a little sassy. I've watched Billy on the Street, so I'm a
Billy
little
on the
bit.
Street is the
I
best.
love
Oh
Billy.
my
He's
God.
a
You have to
Virgo like
remember that he's like
me.
very intense with everyone. Actually, New Yorkers are, I mean, it
It's
depends
so
on who you're talking to, but in general, I find New Yorkers are very friendly.
That's good. But in general, I feel like social media, people are obviously watching and like clicking on your live stream or your video for a reason because they like are wanting to watch it, but then they'll still like post whatever because they're behind the screen. So it's like a weird new realm of music that we're living in, especially right now with like all the
Yes.
concerts being canceled because it's just like raw footage that you're getting, which I love, like seeing artists put out stuff that you probably like on a normal day-to-day basis in a typical year you would never get, like Glass
Yes.
Animals, putting out mixes just
Yes.
on a live stream or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just very interesting, and I don't know if you've like found it to be more useful for you, but I think it's really cool as an audience member.
I mean, it's cool to, as long as it's what we can do. It's all we can do. For me, because I mean, this is not, I wanted to make sure that, the mic was working okay and that I don't want to overload us today. But I do these pretty much weekly or bi-weekly live streams on Facebook they're usually Saturday nights, sometimes Thursday, but usually Saturday. And I have like all my looping pedals going, and I have my like all my different like orchestrated sounds on my samplers and my different electric guitar and my acoustic guitar. And I feel like I try to make it as varied as the most varied Elizabeth and the Catapult show that you could have. All in my living room. Like I'm just like, as if you were like in my recording studio.
Right.
And I really try to dial in all the sounds and the reverbs and everything. So that it makes it really special. And so it's not just like, okay, I just like threw something together and I don't, and like I want to make each night special.
Right.
But it's, it's still not the same as having, just even hearing a clap. Wow. That would be, I mean, you're killing it. You're the best. I mean, this is the best. You're better than any clap. And you can quote me on that because clap
Well,
can mean anything, right?
yeah. I hope I'm better than the clap.
That's the best joke tonight. It is.
What's the most peaceful kind of
I think you need a drink for that one.
what's the most peaceful kind of musical instrument?
What's the most peaceful musical instrument? There's this.
Where's your butter?
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say a Nashville guitar.
Oh.
It's like a guitar, but it's tuned up. Maybe that doesn't make it. Maybe that's less peaceful. But to me, it's. I think honestly, one of my favorite is the harp. That's why I keep mentioning I don't play the harp. I love the harp, obviously, and there's a lot of harp on Enya's albums. And when I first came to New York, when I was, that would be around 2006, around the time of the EP. I got a gig. This is crazy, but singing backgrounds for Enya, in her band, like on all. So she was
In like 06?
Yeah.
What?
So I was little college baby going to, I think he was like 07. I'm going to give it that. But I was, I think she was looking for cheaper background vocalists. I'll give her that. But the gig did not last very long because I was almost fainting the entire gig because we had to sing so breathy that I was like, I just remember the song was called Amarantine. It was like, Amarantine, Amarantine, love is. I can't even do it. I can't even do it as breathy without my voice breaking. But I just remember being behind her on Regis and Kelly and like almost fainting. Like I was like, I couldn't even stand straight because it was so much breath and I didn't have the breath support as a singer to do the job. But that's like, I think that's cooler than anything I've ever done, singing for Enya. I'm going to say that. I think it's the coolest.
Okay, so I love when this happens because this has happened a handful of times.
You're going to tell me you sang for Enya because of your shirt.
No, that'd be amazing. No.
Okay.
So I was setting up a joke by saying what is the most peaceful kind of musical instrument, and you just took it and ran with it, and I love that a story came out of it. That's even better.
The farthest. I took it the farthest. I took it to Enya.
I mean, we probably wouldn't have gotten to that story if I hadn't like set up the joke.
I don't get to tell that story ever. It's true.
The answer to the joke is, so the most peaceful kind of musical instrument, I honestly don't know, but violins isn't the answer.
Ooh. That's
peaceful.
I think that's I know I'm not laughing, but that's the best joke of the night. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I might use it.
Do it. Take it. I'll just send you just some
photos. It's good.
They're all catered to you. Okay, and I told you this last time around. You are Emily Prentice from Criminal Minds. Like, your appearance to a T.
Okay, I need to write this down because I actually don't know who this is.
I don't know what her actual name is. Let's see.
Prentice.
I looked it up earlier. So it's Emily and then Prentice, but 2 S's. Prentiss.
Okay. I'm looking it up.
You look like her so much to me, and it trips me out. Let's see.
I love that. People have
her
told me
real name is Paget Brewster. I like the last name. But anyways, so this has been Elizabeth, and she is amazing. Not just because she wore the same shirt as me. She obviously has great taste. But you have to check her out. If you're tuning in live right now and listening to her music, you can just automatically tell she has this amazing, just eclectic and chameleon-like ability to change her rhythm and her voice and her pitch in such a profound way. And so thank you for providing us with just an hour of fun, Elizabeth.
You're lovely, and you're so good at your job.
Thank you.
You really make people feel comfortable, and you're really funny. The jokes are kind of funny, but you're naturally very funny.
I know. Thank you. I'm just kidding. What's your zodiac sign again?
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, this is right. Okay, because a lot of the artists that I interview are Geminis.
Interesting.
Which is supposed to be a thing because Geminis have a very like innate ability to be creative and like create music or be an actor.
We're also chameleons, like you said. You called it.
Well, Gemini, so you, and then Virgo, and then Sagittarius and Pisces. So there's like the earth, the water, the air, and the fire signs. But then among those 12, there's 3 subcategories, which is the mutable, there's 2 others, but mutable includes Gemini and Virgo, and there's like a big roster of different serial killers, and they're all mutable signs because we're all able to like.
How did we get there so fast?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
So Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. If you know any of us, watch out.
Watch out. I'm not hurting anyone.
No.
Except for the flies. I got a fly trap that's been working.
Good.
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
You need to send me the link for that because I'm dealing with that same problem right now.
There's construction on my building, and they took away my my screens, and so I had the window open all night, and I had some flies were like pirouetting, like having too much fun in front of me while I was trying to do work today, and I got the sticky fly trap and I put it over a bowl of beef, of cooked beef. And then it was just like I was just watching their death. It was so. This actually is creepier than serial killers. What I'm talking about. So maybe I'm giving
Point
away.
made.
Let's forget. We're just rewinding all of that. Has nothing to do. This is going to be a new song. Let's hope I remember all the lyrics. It is going to be one of the singles off of my next record, and it's called "The Birds and the Bees." I read the news in California. I hope my family's okay. Looks like those beaches are as full as ever. Just another perfect summer day. An old boyfriend called from Arizona. Said he was sick with no complaints. Asked if I could sing a song right over the phone. So I sang in Purple Rain, and he coughed and sang along. Lately there's an old man smoking on my doorstep. When I leave my house for work most days, says don't judge me for smoking, honey. Who am I hurting now? This air's gonna kill us anyway. This air's gonna kill me. This air's gonna kill us all anyway. So tell your mother that you love her, and tell your boyfriend you wish him well. 'Cause the birds and the bees, they've all come to agree that no one's gonna save them now. And tell your best friend not to visit. There's no more use in going out. 'Cause the birds and the bees, they've all come to agree that no one's gonna save them. No one's gonna save them. No one's gonna save them now. Standing at the corner deli, a girl asked me out, but I declined. But underneath my mask, I smile as big as ever. Hope she knows that I was flattered by the creases in my eyes. Reminds me of a song I'd written but forgotten. The chorus goes, we're all together but alone. Sometimes a nod is all that I can manage before returning to the lighthouse, the comfort of my phone. We are beloved, stranded here in space. We are beloved. I could have said it to her face, alone together, and together we're alone. We are alone together. So tell your mother that you love her, and tell your boyfriend you wish him well. 'Cause the birds and the bees, they've all come to agree that no one's gonna save them now. And tell your best friend not to visit. There's no more use in going out. 'Cause the birds and the bees, they've all come to agree that no one's gonna save them. No one's gonna save them. No one's gonna save them now. That no one's gonna save them. No one's gonna save them. No one's gonna save them now. No. 'Cause the birds and the bees, they've all come to agree. And the birds and the bees, they've all come to agree. And the birds and the bees have all come to Now.
Woo! That was The Birds and the Bees by Elizabeth and the Catapult, otherwise known as Elizabeth Zeman. How are ya? My dear,
Great.
we're approaching the 5 o'clock hour,
Yeah, we are.
which I'm sad about.
Me too. This has been so fun. Oh my gosh, that song takes it out of me. It's like I just ran a marathon.
You sounded amazing.
Thank you.
Like, I feel
Thank
like
you.
you could handle anything. You were talking about how you were like almost fainting, but not like
No, that's
today,
because
but but
the very end of the song when I go, the birds and the bees come to agree. I can whisper like a couple of lines like that, but if you have to hold an extended note of all breath for an entire song, I will faint. I will tell you that.
I think I couldn't even for half a second do that pitch of voice if my life depended on it. So props to you. Like, no way.
Maybe by the next time we meet.
Maybe, yeah. I hope that I'll get to meet you like in person at some point when
Me
everything
too.
simmers down a little bit.
Me too.
I'm going to plug Jam really quick. So, Jam Cellars, I'm tuned in live from our downtown Napa wine and music studio. And normally we would be hosting the live music events from our like makeshift stage area on the weekends. But we're lucky that we have the technology to do these little concerts. And so we've been doing these for a handful of months now, and it's a lot of fun. And we can't wait till we can get back to doing these actual concerts in person because there's just something about the energy of a crowd when you're all together. So we'll get back to that. But as of right now, I'm so grateful to have artists such as yourself, Elizabeth. It's friggin' phenomenal that we have this option. And
it's great for us too. So thank you.
do you need more wine sent over to you? Because
listen,
I don't know. They told a lot of
that is the answer is always
perfect.
we.
So if you're watching and you need your wine supply replenished, then you can go ahead and go to our link that'll be posted below and head over to the Jam Cellars website. We have our wine finder in which you can type in your zip code within the 50 states in the United States and find a place nearest you that you can go and pick up a bottle, or we can ship to you. I think we ship to most of the states. I think about 40 or so. So you have that option in addition to like the cool apps that we have now, like Drizzly, where you can get wine or whatever alcohol you're in the mood for delivered in like less than an hour. So all that's going to be linked below. Elizabeth, did you read the book about Manhattan's fanciest wine room?
I didn't read it.
Oh, it's a New York Times bestseller.
Wow. That's so punny of you.
And oh, what a good sport. Miss Elizabeth and the Catapult. So my buddy actually built a spice catapult. It was like capable of seasoning a steak from like 100 yards away, but it's kind of hard to aim with this spice catapult. Okay. So there's no sense crying over every missed steak.
I love it.
Double cheers.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you. We should all be proud of ourselves.
But you like literally, you just keep, first of all, can I just talk about you for a little bit? Let's end the hour with talking about you. Mm-mm. These are the reasons why you're such a beautiful host. One, obviously your hair is ridiculous. Your hair. Okay. Two, you obviously enjoy your job. You're so natural because you're such an authentic person, and you freaking do diligence and do all this research about the artists that you're speaking to, and like what you're talking about where they come from. Like that's so. Do you know how like above and beyond that is of every interviewer ever? And your pun jokes are
I'm
actually
blushing.
your pun jokes. I would say they're above. I think they're better than great aunt or dad jokes. I think they're like one tier up, and I don't know what that's called, but it's pretty good. It's like grandma. It's like grandma jokes, because grandmas are cooler than great aunts or aunts.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm at a loss for words,
I
Elizabeth.
just want you to take that all in.
Stop it. No, okay, Elizabeth has been amazing. If you've enjoyed Elizabeth's music today, then venture over to her Venmo because she deserves it. And
Thank
that
you.
way she can, I don't know, do you need like new guitar picks or
I'm actually
what
going
do
to
you need?
start. I'm doing a Kickstarter campaign, starting in a couple weeks because I got to pay mixing and mastering and publicity and
Mhm.
photographers and videographers, and we're just making a lot of stuff over here. So I have
So
a
if you've
Kickstarter
enjoyed,
campaign. So if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram at The Catapult, you'll just hear all the noise.
heck yeah. So, okay,
Thank you.
before
Look at this.
I'm going to carry us over into like two back-to-back songs and then we'll say our sayonaras, but I'm just going to give one more joke cuz this was my favorite one. I didn't find like the perfect opportunity to fit this one in, but it's my favorite. So,
Okay.
I'm going to do it. What do you call what do you call British rock and roll?
What?
Like what do the British refer to rock and roll as over there in
I
the
don't
UK?
know. Tell me.
Stone and scone.
It's great. It's great. I don't know if it's the best,
But rock,
but
stone,
it's good. It's good.
roll, scone.
It's good.
Stone and scone.
I think the violent violins
Mm.
violence was the best, mostly because I didn't know that you were about to tell a joke, and I just went into an Enya story, and then when it's all about timing, it was such a zinger.
It's my
It took me
favorite.
by surprise.
All right, Elizabeth. So, what are you going to be finishing the show out with the last two songs back to back?
I want to play this new weird song
Love it.
because it uses this. I'm just calling it a weird one because it's called The Stranger, and it's about the deterioration of a relationship when you start to be really fearful of the person you're with, and you think your life turns into a film noir scene. So this is called The Stranger. Can you hear this sound? And this is my friend's guitar. It's called the Nashville guitar, and it's tuned an octave up from a guitar. So it kind of has that dirty South kind of
Banjo-ish.
feel, which I like. So here's this new song. It's called The Stranger. I don't know when it happened. When did you start to change? When did I notice something was kind of strange? You shuffled through the kitchen, staring off, sipping at your cup. Where lies the difference between you and the one I love? Cause I'm staring at the light, but I'm seeing darkness. Staring at the light, but I'm seeing darkness. Who's that taking my love hostage? Who's that taking my love hostage? Must be a stranger standing in your place. Can't recognize a single word that you say. It's all upside down. Ooh, 'cause I went to bed with a dozen roses. Went to bed with a dozen roses. Woke up, they were dead and frozen. Woke up, they were dead and frozen. All the neighbors seemed to run away. What did you do? What did you say? Straight from a stranger's mouth. this is not a film noir scene. So meant to think, yeah. So I've been led to believe. But what's coming down the airwaves? Yeah, the floorboards are shaking again. Who is flipping switches? And who is stopping up this dam? 'Cause you're yelling at the TV like the box is listening. Oh, it's just past the chicken when you're done blowing up at me. 'Cause you're tossing in your sleep now like a stranger in my dreams. What's a stranger look like? Are you lying right next to me? 'Cause I don't need no encore. Keep holding your bouquets. I'm troubled by the worst of you, my darling. 'Cause I'm staring at the light, but I'm seeing darkness. Staring at the light, but I'm seeing darkness. Who is that taking my love hostage? Who is that taking my love hostage? Must be a stranger standing in your place. I can't recognize a single word that you say. It's all upside down. 'Cause I went to bed with a dozen roses. Went to bed with a dozen roses. Woke up, they were dead and frozen. Woke up, they were dead and frozen. All the neighbors seemed to run away. What did you do? What did you say? Straight from a stranger's mouth. Straight from a stranger's mouth. Straight from a stranger's mouth.
Woo! Thank you, my
fun.
dear.
This is like some of the first times I've ever played these tunes.
I love that. So everyone watching, you're getting to see
man.
firsthand,
This is
you know, unreleased stuff.
It's brand spanking new. So I think if we have, do we have time for one more?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm having fun.
I'm gonna end with because it reminds me of this. Speaking of film noir, it reminds me of this Tom Waits tune. This is Jockey Full of Bourbon. Edna Million in a drop dead suit, Dutch pink on a downtown thing, $2 pistol but the gun won't shoot. Wait. Is my brain still working on this alcohol that I drink? Edna Million in a drop dead suit, Dutch pink on a downtown train, $2 pistol but the gun won't shoot. I'm in the corner of the pouring rain, 16 men on a dead man's chest. I'm drinking from a broken cup, 2 pairs of pants and a mohair vest. I'm full of bourbon and I can't stand up. Hey little bird, fly away home, your house is on fire, your children are alone. Hey little bird, fly away home, your house is on fire and your children are alone. Broke a bottle on a mugging's head. I'm a dancing on the devil's tail, across the stripes of a full moon's head, and through the bars of a Cuban jet, a bloody finger on a purple knife. Flamenco drinking from a cocktail glass. I'm on the lawn with someone else's wife. Admire the view from up on top of the mast. Hey little bird, fly away home, your house is on fire, your children are alone. Hey little bird, fly away home, your house is on fire, and your children are alone. No, 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 no. Says he bore horn and a sing-a-ling ride to the carnival, is what she said. $100 makes it dark inside, and $1 million in a drop-dead suit. Dutch pink on a downtown train, $2 pistol but the gun won't shoot. I'm in the corner of the pouring rain. Hey little bird, fly away home, your house is on fire, your children are alone. Hey little bird, fly away home, your house is on fire, your children are alone. Hey little bird, your house is on fire. Your house house is on fire. Hey, little bird, fly away home. Your house is on fire, and your children are all alone.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. Woo! Thank you, Elizabeth. So, for everyone that's been watching today, this has been amazing. So much fun to reconnect with an old buddy of mine. We matched without even trying. That's how you know it's real. It's a real friendship. The Gemini and the Virgo. And definitely go check out Elizabeth's music on Bandcamp, especially, but all the major platforms are going to be hosting her music. And celebrate on October 26th, the 10-year anniversary of The Other Side of Zero.
Oh so my exciting. Gosh. And then in mid-November, look out for the new song. Woo! First single's dropping.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth. Thank you to everyone watching. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Sam. Have a good one.